Hello friends, welcome to this vlog. It is the first day of Summerween. I'm so excited. It is my first Summerween. I'm wearing my Summerween shirt today in honor of the first day. And I am doing reading sprints with Liv to begin the day. It's Friday, so it's my day off, so we'll see how much reading I can get done. We are gonna go swimming in the early afternoon, but then I'm hoping maybe the kids can do like an afternoon movie or maybe a morning movie or something, and I can just get more reading time in. I am starting with the Twisted Ones by Kingfisher. I'll put it there. This is one of her older horror, and it's a little unsettling so far. I am 25% of the way in. And so this starts out with Mouse, and her real name's Melissa, but she goes by Mouse. And her grandmother has passed away, and her dad is pretty sick. We don't know yet how he is sick. I think it might be cancer, but she hasn't come out and said exactly what he is sick with, but he can't go and clean out her grandmother's house, so he asks Mouse to go and do it. And Mouse had a really what's the word I want, not bad relationship with her grandmother, but like a non-existent relationship. Her grandmother was fairly abusive towards family members and not a very nice human being, and so Mouse just hadn't talked to her in a really long time. And so Mouse goes to clean out her house, and it is a full-on hoarding situation, and then spooky stuff happens. As always, I love T. Kingfisher's humor. I think she's so funny. Also, there is a dog in this book who is very sweet and very dumb, but also very smart, because he's figuring out that there's spooky stuff going on, even while Mouse is like, no, it's fine, stop overreacting. So that's what I'm gonna read. And I posted my TBR in my stories on Instagram, but this is what I'm hoping to get to this week. I don't know if I'll get to everything. I threw on The Daughter of Dr. Moreau fairly last minute because the Hugo finalists were announced yesterday, and that is on there, and I've never read a Silvia Moreno Garcia, so I figured I might as well start with that one. And I've also heard that one isn't as scary as some of her other ones. It's more vibes, and I am very much here for horror vibes, but not actually being scary. That's what I'm going for. With that said, I'm gonna go do some more reading. I also have the audiobook for this because it was on Scribd, so I'm gonna listen to the audio some so that I can get some chores done. And yes, if you are also doing Summerween, happy Summerween. I will update you when I have an update. Y'all, the dog went missing. I'm sure he'll be fine. T. Kingfisher wouldn't hurt the dog, right? Right? Okay, I have to find out what's gonna happen to this poor dog. All right, we are home from swimming, and everybody's eating, and then we're gonna do some SSSR, which, if you don't know, stands for silent sustained reading, but because not everyone wants to read, we renamed it SSSA, silent sustained solo activities. Which I think will be good because everybody's been sniping at each other a little bit, except for when we were at the pool. They were great, but otherwise, when we're not water-based creatures, they've just been sniping at each other and bickering over the stupidest stuff. So I'm gonna force everyone to do quiet time, and I'm gonna work on my book because the dog is still missing and I am concerned. So I'm just gonna continue my journey. Well, I finished it, and I don't know how I feel about it. It went off the rails at the end. Maybe that is common in horror. Again, baby horror reader, I'm still figuring things out. I don't know how these are supposed to go, but it felt unhinged at the end. I could not press the button fast enough to turn the pages on my Kobo. The dog was fine, in case anybody was worried. The dog makes it. The dog is fine. I don't know how much to say without it being a spoiler. Yeah, so it's a lot of things. It's, I guess, a haunted house story. It's also kind of a like pulp horror retelling. It's also got like a little bit of portal fantasy. I don't know. There's a lot. I'm leaning towards a 4.5. I'm gonna have to think on it a little bit longer, but what a ride. That was so fun. And maybe not scary. There were definitely, in the first third, some very creepy, unsettling scenes. Like, definitely nothing I would have been wanting to read right before I go to bed, especially since the unsettling scenes were happening at night when Mouse was being woken up from being asleep. So that I wouldn't have wanted to read at night. So I think it's a good thing I read it in one day. What is happening? Anyways, book 1 of Summerween is done. I'm done for the night. There it is, 6:46, and I am done reading for today. And I am just gonna process all my feelings. So yeah, I think I liked that it went unhinged at the end. It did catch me a little off guard, and I initially didn't like it, but then as things were revealed and the pace picked up, I think I did like that it went unhinged. But wow, I gotta figure out which book I'm starting tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. Okay, bye. Good morning. I'm about to go into work, but I just read the first chapter of Into the Drowning Deep, and this seems like it's going to be much scarier than the Twisted Ones. So wish me luck. Good morning, Summerween friends. All right, I'm coming in with a little bit of an update. I am 166 pages into The Drowning Deep. This is definitely spookier than the Kingfisher, but I am still kind of digging it. I like all the marine science that's in here. I kind of like that everybody's a little bit unlikable, so I'm not really rooting for anybody. I might be rooting for the mermaids a little bit. I think it's kind of like how I'm rooting for the orcas who have been attacking fishing vessels. I don't know. I just feel like we don't belong everywhere on the planet, and if nature needs to establish a better balance of power, I don't know, I might be here for it. Probably says more about me than I want it to. Anyways, but point is, kind of digging it. Definitely not a nighttime book for me though. But let's see, it's Sunday, so it's my day off, and I have to do some chores. I have the audiobook for this as well, so I'm thinking I might put on my headphones, bust out some chores, and just see how far that gets me. And yeah, I don't know. I might have to switch up my TBR because I feel like my poor heart rate and my blood pressure are gonna need not a horror book, because I definitely got real wound up reading The Twisted Ones in one day, and I have found that I am fairly wound up when I take a break from this, and I have been finding that horror, and if you've been reading horror for a long time, you're probably like, wow, duh, but it's very compulsively readable. Like, I really struggled to put the books down because I just want to know what's going to happen next. So I think I might have to pick something that's a little slower paced. Maybe The Daughter of Dr. Moreau would be a good fit for that. I've heard it's more vibes. I was just looking at it, it's because it's over there. I've heard it's more vibes than actual horror. So maybe I'll do that one next to like give myself a break. Yeah, we'll see though. I definitely need to not pick up You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight because I think that one is going to be very fast paced. And my husband's just about to go on a work trip on Wednesday. And I think Summerween either ends on Thursday or Friday. And I don't really want to read that book while he's gone. We'll see. We'll see. All right. With that being said, I'm going to pop on my headphones, do some chores. And I don't know if I'll check back in again today. I might wait until tomorrow. So, oh, my bedtime book, not Summerween, but my bedtime book is The City Inside by Sumit Basu. And this is from Tor, and it came out last summer. This is also kind of, this might technically be kind of a thriller, but it's about tech and how it spies on us, and like an imagined future where the government uses surveillance to crack down on anybody who is having an opinion that the government doesn't want you to have. So it's a different kind of scary. So we're just all over the place this weekend. Okay, bye. Good morning, friends. It is it's Monday, day 4 of Summerween. I have a quick update. I briefly mentioned this in an earlier clip, and I'm going to DNF it. The writing's really rambly, and it's more, I guess, a world-building book than a character book. I think the world is really, I think it could have really interesting things to say, but it's not even, I think it's like barely 250. Yeah, it's not even 250 pages, and it's a slog. I made it to 60, and I just, it's a slog, so gonna DNF it and then haul it. So that's that little update. And then I don't think I've done a synopsis for Into the Drowning Deep, so I'm gonna keep it brief because half the fun I think of this book is having very little information going in. So this is set, well, it's set in the past. It takes place in 2022, but this was published in 2017. So I think that's interesting that like Mira Grant or Shauna McGuire wrote it a little bit in the future. My husband pointed out that Michael Crichton used to do that a lot too, where his books would just be set a few years in the future. So it felt very plausible. But this book opens with found footage of this ship that this entertainment company had sent out to the Mariana Trench to look for proof of the existence of mermaids. And the footage that comes back is of just a slaughter. And the footage is very shaky. Yes, very Blair Witch style footage, but you can hear people being eaten, and there's like flashes of these creatures, but nobody, there's a lot of debate on whether the footage is a hoax and whether it's real. But our main character, Tori, her sister Anne, was on the ship as a reporter, but a reporter for the entertainment industry, or the entertainment company. And so her sister is killed on the ship, and then the ship is never recovered. Nobody who's on the ship is ever found. Bodies aren't found. They just had that footage that was sent back via the cloud. So then we fast forward a number of years, and Tori, who is a marine biologist, no, she's not a marine biologist. What is she? I don't remember what her like area of science is called, but she specializes in using sonar and sound waves to see what you're looking at deep down in the ocean. So like Mariana Trench, Challenger Deep style. And anyways, the entertainment company ends up sending out a second ship to confirm what happened to the previous ship. That's all I'm going to tell you, because half the fun is not knowing. And I will say it's very gory. It is very bloody. I would say fairly unsettling. I'm finding this one a little bit more upsetting than the Stephen Graham Jones books that I've read are. I like how the science is really cool. I love all the marine and animal science. Everyone is, I might have said this already, that everyone is fairly unlikable, which I can't decide if I like not having anyone to root for, so I don't care as much if they get eaten by something. But it's also kind of fun to have like somebody that you're rooting for and you want to make it through, like you want to have a final girl to root for, and I don't really feel like I have a final girl to root for. Like I said, I'm mostly just rooting for the mermaids, so we'll see how this goes. I read a little bit more this morning, so I'm a little bit farther than my bookmark is. I'm hoping to finish this today. I have work, and then I think we're gonna go to a playground because it's a little bit cooler today, and then maybe I'll be able to get a good chunk read at the playground, because I'm definitely not reading this at night. Like once it's like 4:30, I'm done with this for the day. So we'll see how far I get to today. So anyways, we'll see a little update, and I'll check in later. All right, I just finished it halfway through painting my nails. I don't know how I feel about that ending. I liked so much of this book. I liked the pacing. I liked so much science. I liked how I wasn't really rooting for any individual character. And there was a reveal about the mermaids that was super cool. But then, like, nothing came of it. And I don't know. And this isn't a series. I mean, I think there's a novella. So the audiobook for the novella is on Hoopla. So I might listen to that and see if that gives me the ending I wish I had, because for as long as this book was, like over 400 pages, yeah, over 400 pages, and the slow build up, well, not slow, but like the build up that we had to the event, I don't know, the ending felt really anticlimactic. And I'm so sad because I thought for sure this was going to be a 5-star book. But now I don't know. I have to think about it. But I found that ending pretty unsatisfying. Oh, I'm so bummed. Okay, I just hopped on Hoopla and I read the synopsis for Rolling in the Deep, which is the novella, and it's a prequel. So it's what happens on the ship that they had the found footage of. I just don't know. It's such a bummer. It was such a cool reveal. And I was like, buckle up, here we go. And then she didn't do anything with it. Man. Ah. Okay, I gotta think about what rating I'm gonna give this. So I don't know. I was gonna give it a 5. I think that ending might have just dropped it down to a 4. God, I'm so mad. Okay, I had to move positions because I need to charge my phone. But while I emotionally recover from that letdown, I had ordered some books at my indie bookstore and they arrived today and I went to go pick them up. So by the by, in case you didn't know, if there's a book you want and your local indie doesn't have it in stock, they can most likely order it for you and have it in store within a couple days. I always assume that people know this about indie bookstores, but I didn't know it until I started working at an indie bookstore, and I'd like to share that information. But anyways, I had them order What Moves the Dead by Kingfisher. I have read this already, but my husband has not, and my husband is not a library user, so he only reads the books that we own. Which I mentioned to my children today, and nobody knew how to handle that information. So I really want him to read What Moves the Dead. Also, it's a finalist for the Hugos this year, and I might reread it because that seems like it could be a good time. And then I also picked up Wolf Song by TJ Klune. This is the republished copy. It's so pretty. Even though I already have a TJ Klune on my shelf that I haven't read, I still haven't read In the Lives of Puppets. And now I get to add Wolf Song. Also, this is much chunkier than I thought this book was going to be, but I've heard really wonderful things about this series for a long time, so I am looking forward to reading it. Okay, now I am going to go take a break from reading, figure out what I'm going to start next for Summerween, and I don't know, maybe go have some chocolate because I am upset about that ending, and might be upset for the rest of the afternoon. So thoughts and prayers, please. All right, friends, I am going to close out this vlog here, and then tomorrow I'll start part 2 of my Summerween experience, but this felt like a good stopping spot, having finished 2 books and being about halfway through. So yeah, please, if you have read Into the Drowning Deep, tell me all your feelings, all your thoughts, and I hope if you are participating, you are also having a fun, spooky time. And if you're not participating, I hope you are also reading stuff that is giving you lots of feelings. All right, I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.